from the held that a Deputy Speaker of Parliament or any person presiding in the absence of the Speaker is entitled to be counted for the purpose of forming a quorum for decision-making.
A 7-member panel of the Apex Court, presided over by Justice Jones Doche, also held that a Deputy Speaker of Parliament or any person presiding in the absence of the Speaker is entitled to cast a vote on parliamentary proceedings.
The Supreme Court on Wednesday morning struck out Order 109 Clause 3 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, which states that a Deputy Speaker or any other member presiding shall not retain his original vote while presiding as unconstitutional. The court also held that the decision of the majority New Patriotic Party (NPP) to approve the 2022 budget on November 31, 2021, where the first Deputy Speaker voted, was valid. The landmark decision follows a writ filed by Justice Abdullahi seeking the interpretation of Article 104 Clause 1 of the Constitution. Justice Abdullahi, in a statement of case, contended that it was unconstitutional for the Deputy Speaker to have counted himself for the purpose of making up the quorum of half of the members of Parliament required by Article 104 Clause 1 when Parliament approved the 2022 budget and economic policy of government on November 30, 2021.
Four police officers and a civilian have been charged with attempted robbery and abetment of crime. The 5 suspects are being accused of allegedly taking part in multiple bullion van robberies recorded in the Greater Accra region, including the incident at Jamestown Adempo in June 2021, which led to the untimely death of Police Constable Emmanuel Osei, and also a recent robbery on February 22, 2022 at North Kanishi. The Accra Circuit Court 2, presided over by Madam Patricia Ponsan, refused bail to the suspects and subsequently remanded them into police custody to reappear on March 28, 2022.
General Constables Yaro Afisu Ibrahim, Albert Ofosu, also known as Saifa, Richard Bwedu, also known as Oso, and General Constable Rabiu Jambidu. The 5th suspect, Razak Al-Hassan, also known as Zak, is a scrap dealer. The facts, as read by the prosecutor, ASP Sylvester Asari, stated that sometime in 2021, the police service recorded a series of street robberies as well as attacks on bullion vans. The service mounted surveillance on the suspected robbers undertaking these unlawful activities within the capital. It says on February 22, 2022, the police received a report of an attack on a bullion van with registration number GN 424-14 at North Kanishi in Accra. Subsequently, the service launched an investigation into the armed robbery, which led to the arrest of one Constable Rindolph Jima Ansa, also known as Pablo, now deceased, who admitted to the offense during interrogation. Further enquiries led to the arrest of Lance Corporal Stephen Nyame, also deceased, and the 5 suspects who have been arraigned. The suspect, during interrogation, admitted taking part in a series of bullion van robberies recorded in the Greater Accra region, including the robbery which took place in February 2021 at Kingsway, opposite the Freemason Society, Bachuna Spinkters Road in March 2021, Jamestown Adedempo incident in 2021, which led to the untimely death of Police Constable Emmanuel Osei. Also, the investigation states that the late Lance Corporal Stephen Nyame and Constable Randolph Jimansa mentioned 2 Nigerians, including one Omonaija, as accomplices who are currently at large, and that some of the weapons used in the robberies were with their Nigerian accomplices around Ashaiman. On Sunday, March 6, 2022, the late Lance Corporal Stephen Nyame and Constable Randolph Jimansa, also known as Pablo, led the police to a suburb at Ashaiman to apprehend the 2 said Nigerians. The raid resulted in an exchange of gunshots, which later led to the death of the 2 personnel.
The Overlord of Dagbon, the northern region, and Danyana Abukari is calling on all to keep calm as investigations into the recent incident at Dakpema Palace in Tamale continue. In a statement, the Yana expresses deep concern about the unfortunate incident in which a number of people sustained gunshot wounds. The Yana urges the RECSEC to improve patrol in the affected communities and be more proactive in its response to early warning signs. He also urged community members to cooperate with security agencies to maintain law and order at all times in the communities. Ayana wishes all those who sustain injuries in the incident a speedy recovery. Moving on. About 167 farms are on the list of beneficiaries of the government's compensation package to farmers affected by the avian influenza outbreak in Ghana. The government has released over 20 million cedis as part of approved funds to recognize the loss of the affected farmers. The compensation exercise starts immediately.
20,105,718 cedis, 3 pesos, is to pay affected farmers some outstanding compensation from 2015 to 2018, stamping out, decontamination and disposal materials, and the rollout of a communication plan.
The ministry has agreed to pay 30 cedis for a matured bird, 20 cedis for a pellet, 10 cedis per chick, 80 cedis for a bag of feed, and 10 cedis for a crate of eggs, based on the amount available immediately. The ministry also received the requisite data on the number of farms that were affected during the outbreak of 2016, 2017, and 2018. An outstanding 36 poultry farms will also receive their compensation.
Affected farmers between July and December 2021 are to present their certificates of destruction to the Finance and Administration Unit of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture for immediate payment. Poultry farmers are also required to intensify their biosecurity measures and avoid restocking of their farms until biosecurity certification and management practices are certified by the Veterinary Services Directorate. The national chairman of the Poultry Farmers Association of Ghana, Mr. Victor Opunweji, lauded government's plan to include affected farms from 2016. He welcomed the ongoing biometric registration and certification of poultry farmers.
We know that this is going to help the industry and the government as a whole economically, because with this biometric registration, it will help us to monitor every activity that is going on in the industry.
In future, farmers without biometric certification and registration will not be compensated. Over 50,000 birds were affected in the outbreak of bird flu in the country. For GBC News, Shirley Annan reporting.
The Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Fie, has interacted with collectors of plastic waste in Accra and Tema. His visit was to get direct information on their challenges and how the ministry can help make their work easier. The hazardous effects of plastics tend to have cumulative and compounding negative impact on human health, from the pollution of the air, marine, freshwater, agriculture, fisheries and environmental quality in general. As part of measures to reduce the plastic menace, the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Fie, has met with plastic waste collection companies. The tour was to observe the work of the collectors and check the state of the sites. At Space Plus Company Limited at Odorna, the minister urged them to adopt a holistic approach in the collection of plastics.
We've done a lot of analysis. The plastics, as you go down and its diameter shrinks, then that's when the problem starts. In other words, the 4 gallons and the Jinyame plastics, even at the village level, you will not find any of them littered. No, because people literally fight over them. When you come down, then from the PET bottles down to the the plastics, the under 20 microns, that's where the problem starts. Because the recycling model that we set up, the incentive mechanism is said that people do not find it advantageous or, economically feasible to be picking those ones. So this, your entity, those who pick the plastics, I want to know from you, for example, what incentive mechanism should the minister in all this program formulation should we put in place, which will make it feasible for you to pick every plastic, including the under 20 microns?
The major problem for most of these waste collection companies was how the plastics are transported to their field of operations and the encounter with security agencies, especially the police. The plastic collectors said there are not enough recycling plants in the area and the few available ones pay little for their services. The chairman of the Kpong Landfill Waste Pickers Association, Mr. Johnson Doe, pleaded with the minister to support them in their decision-making process.
Some of us work for 2 or 3 decades and we are more into this plastic and picking activity and we are more experts than Omuamutina officer in the Mejuma waste management. You bet me I play major role regarding the plastic pollution. Your contribution, your effort, your support. Bet me abwa na atumia a reduce nyama beble efa plastic.
The minister commended the collectors for their efforts to make the country clean.
Now to a special story on a market day at Asesewa. If you were a pupil in the lower primary in the early 90s, then you sure might have read a book that told the story of the Asesewa market and how vibrant it was at the time in the eastern region. The number of years that the Asesewa market has existed is not quite clear, but it is believed to be a good 10 decades or more and is one of the well-patronized markets in the country. Do you know that traders in this market still practice barter trade? Our reporter Suyoko Kwakuche was at the Asesewa market and shares this story, which definitely may bring back some fond memories.
Asesewa is a small town and the district capital of the Upper Manyakrobo district in Ghana's eastern region. It is about 45 kilometers from the regional capital, Koforidua. This town is very popular because of the Asesewa market, but the road network took off shapes. In the early 90s, the Asesewa market could have been said to be the biggest market in Ghana, and until date, it is still relevant to the country's food basket. It is a historic trading post with a mix of cultures from all over Ghana. Mondays and Fridays are market days at the Asesewa market. However, a handful of the traders sell their items at the market daily, using different sizes of umbrellas as shade. A typical Friday at the Asesewa market is a very full day. Music and product advertisements blaring loudly from speakers placed on cars and vantage areas in the market, sellers and buyers haggling over the prices of food items, truck pushers, headquarters popularly known as Kayaye, hawkers, pushing and shoving shoppers, drivers honking loudly, and Okada riders crisscrossing both cars and humans create a clamorous din. Hundreds of traders from farming communities, including Bripo Humunya, Akatin, Sisiaman, Okrantumi, and Koforidua, who flood the market, bring along large quantities of fresh and processed food items to sell for cheap, making the market a one-stop wholesale point for affordable farm produce. Cheap is good for many, so it attracts buyers from across the country. Quite a handful of traders who are the regular market women display their wares on tabletops, while the majority who throng the market on the market days display the items on the bare ground under the scorching sun, with some carrying their babies on their backs. There is abundance of food items such as cassava, plantain, maize, tubers of yams, cocoyams, garden eggs, and condo, and livestock. Sadly, this popular market lacks basic amenities such as access to flowing water. The poor sanitary conditions at the market is also of great concern.
Business is slow nowadays. It is my wish we get more buyers so we can cater for ourselves and families and also pay our taxes.
In the past, the spacious Asesewa market was endowed with some concrete stalls that enhanced trading there. Those were mainly occupied by dressmakers, hairdressers, and some market women. Currently, most of the stalls have been abandoned and left to deteriorate.
We don't make good sales these days because a lot of people who visit the market did not buy anything.
Just as it was in the past, traders here still practice the barter trade.
We still practice barter trade here. For instance, if someone brings me fish, I will give the person cassava dough, which I sell in exchange.
At present, the entire market is unpaved, and the overwhelming huge crowd at the market seems to be compounding the dusty condition of the facility. Soyuko Kwakutre, GBC News, Asesewa, Eastern Region.
We now move to the education sector, where the West African Examinations Council has released provisional results of 52,974 candidates who registered for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination for private candidates 2021. A total of 24,769 males and 28,205 females registered for the examination. Those who registered included 242 visually impaired persons and 372 hearing impaired persons.
Further registered for the examination, 1,897 candidates were absent. The results of 696 candidates have been withheld pending the conclusion of investigations into the cases of their alleged malpractices. The malpractices include bringing foreign materials and mobile phones into the examination hall, impersonation, collusion, and seeking external assistance. The withheld results will be released as soon as the Council concludes its investigations. Candidates may access their results online at www.waecgh.org. Caution: WAEC wishes to caution members of the public to be on the alert for scammers who contract candidates with the promise of upgrading their results for a fee payable through mobile money transfers. Members of the public are to take note that the Council's results database is well secured and results can be authenticated. Institutions and organizations are therefore advised to confirm or verify results presented to them directly from the Council or access the confirmation of verification service online at the WAEC website. The results printouts can also be confirmed by scanning the encrypted QR code on the printout with a downloaded version of the WAEC GH QR code reader.
"1,000 girls in public basic schools in the Bono East region are to be introduced to and trained in basic information, communication and technology (ICT) skills, including coding, under the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization's flagship program dubbed ICT, Girls in ICT. This came up at an inception meeting of the upcoming training slated for April 11 to April 2022.
The Girls in ICT GIICT program was introduced in 2012 by the International Telecommunications Union to create a global environment that empowers and encourages girls and young women to consider studies and careers in the growing field of ICT. Since its introduction, over 500,000 girls and women worldwide have benefited from this initiative. The training in coding will enable the girls to explore the world of technology through the creation of websites, computer games, interactive arts, mobile apps, and animation stories using various programming languages. The Deputy Minister for Communications and Digitalization, Madam Ama Poma Boateng, who joined the inception meeting via Zoom, said the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) agenda cannot be achieved if girls and women are left out of the IT industry. She says the drive to achieving that inclusiveness is what necessitated the training of these young girls. The Bono East Regional Minister, Mr. Kwesi Edujan, described the move by the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization and its partners as timely. He said many young girls are faced with numerous challenges in the digital environment.
For girls to thrive in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and information communications and technology, they need capacity building in the form of support and commitments that address the gender digital divide by ensuring access and safety. Our girls also need a confidence that will enable them move forward in their new search in the ICT world.
As part of the training program, the girls will be introduced to Scratch and basic structures of programming applications, after which they participate in a competition. This competition is expected to test the depth of knowledge and ICT skills acquired during the training period, including website design, development of games, coding, and simple ICT applications. Since its inception, the program has been funded entirely by the MOCD, NCA, and GIFIC, with some support from network operators and the American Tower Corporation (ATC). Girls in ICT program, slated for 11th to 22nd April 2022, is on the theme Access and Safety.
You're watching News Hour live on GBC News and on GTV, also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back shortly. Please stay.
Hello, this is Business, brought to you by Quick Credit and MTN. My name is Esther Eidu Ohumeu. Inflation for the month of February 2022 is 15.7%. This is the highest rate recorded since October 2016 and represents an increase of 2.4% compared to the January figure of 13.9%.
Year-on-year inflation, that is from February 2021 to February 2022, rate of inflation stood at 15.7%, which is a 1.8 percentage difference between the rate recorded in January 2022 relative to the 15.7 that is being recorded for February 2022. This indicates that prices of goods and services over the one-year period have gone up by 15.7%. On a month-on-month basis, that is between January 2022 and February 2022, prices of goods and services went up by 2.4%, relative to 2.1 that was recorded between December 2021 and January 2022. Housing, water, electricity and gas, transport, and food and non-alcoholic beverages are the 3 divisions out of the 13 divisions that did record inflation figures higher than the national average of 15.7%. Greater Accra records the highest rate of inflation for February 2022, specifically 19.5%, and Western Region recorded the lowest, 11.6%.
More than 80 lucky EcoBank customers across the country have won monies equivalent to 1 month of their respective monthly salaries. This is in the second draw of the EcoBank Double Salary Promotion, which is a reward for loyalty.
The EcoBank Double Salary Promotion is in collaboration with the National Lotteries Authority. The focus is to reward loyal customers while attracting new ones. The promotion, which began in January this year, is scheduled to last till the end of this month. Both old and new holders of accounts of the bank at all branches in the country are eligible for entry. The second draw saw more than 80 account holders of the bank win cash prizes equal to their monthly salaries. The head of Consumer Banking, Madam Kate Thompson, explained that the promotion is specifically to reward and support salaried account holders of EcoBank to survive post-Christmas financial demands.
In introducing this account, we decided that it is time to say thank you to all our customers, all our salaried workers who have been with us over the past 30 years, and for those who are thinking of joining the EcoBank family. Without working for 30 days, you get paid for 30 days. Send your salary to an EcoBank account, send your salary to your existing current account or savings account, or send your salary to the new salary account, and you can be part of this promotion.
The head of direct banking of EcoBank, Mr. William Danso-Abiam, emphasized the need for workers to sign up to the salary account, which is a unique product to provide financial relief to the holder in times of difficulty.
And the benefits on the salary account still continues. So long as you receive your salary through the salary account, all the benefits, the free issuance of card, the free electronic products, and most importantly, the insurance cover that gives you up to 10,000 cover every month is still there for you, for hospitalization, for retrenchment, and even in the case of death, we don't wish that it happens, you still have that cover awaiting for you. So even though the promo ends, but the benefits on having the salary account is not ending.
The third and last draw of the promotion is scheduled for the 12th of April this year.
So in a few seconds, we will get our winners being populated on our screen.
The Ghana Statistical Service says the country has lost over $20 billion to various streams of illicit financial flows within the last 20 years. To this end, a capacity building workshop has been held in Accra. The ripple effect of illicit financial flows like tax evasion and money laundering is very crucial to a country's economic growth if stringent measures are not taken to curb the defect. According to the Integrated Social Development Center, ISODEC, Ghana loses an estimated $340 million annually to fiscal smuggling of money or assets, imports and export trade misinvoicing, and transfer of wealth to evade taxes. Although government has intervened in modernizing, integrating and upgrading the service, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, yet the expected results have not been achieved. The Ghana Statistical Service is championing the cause for a drastic reversal of Ghana's illegal cash flows, and it is certain that the workshop will provide timely and better disaggregated country-level data to aid and reduce the trend for rapid economic growth.
Tackling illicit financial flows is a priority of the government. Ghana Statistical Service, the National Statistical Unit in charge of official statistics, in collaboration with various stakeholders, will provide the leadership and direction in collecting efficient, consistent, comprehensive, and again processing, analyzing, disseminating, and again making comparable quality data on illegal or illicit financial flows so as to help us in our decision making.
Technical advisor to the Commissioner of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Mr. Dominic Knapp, said a review of Ghana's tax laws will allow for an effective mobilization of revenue for development.
Ghana having found petroleum, or oil in large quantities, and in commercial quantities for that matter, we expect to actually benefit so much from it. It boils down to the same simple reason of cost pardon and sometimes the interpretation of our laws. As a country, when we have laws, especially laws on taxation, we need to review them regularly to be able to actually strengthen them so they can do the trick for us.
The United Nations Commission on Trade and Development and the United Nations Commission for Africa are providing technical support for the 5-day capacity building in Accra. The Ghana Union of Traders Association rapid depreciation of the local currency against major trading currencies, especially the dollar. According to the union, the fall of the cedi is having a toll on their capital.
According to a statement from GUTA, from December 2021 to date, members' trading capital has been depleted by about 16%. In December 2021, when the rate of the cedi to the dollar was 6 cedis 40 pesos, a trader could use 640,000 Ghana cedis to buy $100,000 worth of goods. With a prevailing rate of 7 cedis 60 pesos to the dollar, the same 640,000 cedis can buy only $84,000 worth of goods, thereby making a loss of 16,000 Ghana cedis, which is 16% depletion. This is a serious situation and needs urgent solution to save not only businesses but also the economy, the statement added. According to the union chair, the situation will require concerted efforts by engaging all relevant stakeholders for urgent discussion and immediate solution to this menace.
Let's have the interbank and commodity figures for the day. That was Business, brought to you by Quick Credit and MTN. Thanks for watching.
Good evening and welcome to the energy segment. My name is Dominic Honoji. The call to privatize the thermal oil refinery Thor to ensure its effective operation has again been reiterated. Thor has been dormant for years, and the current increase in crude oil prices on the international oil market due to the war in Ukraine has rekindled the call for the refinery's privatization. Speaking to GBC News, energy analyst Dr. Yusuf Suleimana said privatizing the refinery will curb political interference in the refinery's day-to-day running and provide capital injection.
Established in 1963, the thermal oil refinery supported the country's development for years. However, in recent times, the facility has been bedeviled with a myriad of challenges including corruption, political interference, unstable leadership, obsolete equipment, and lack of investment that affect its operations. The call by energy analyst Dr. Yusuf Suleimana for the thermal oil refinery to be privatized is therefore in line with earlier suggestions put forward by the stakeholders to revamp the facility to refine crude locally.
The refinery, I won't say outmoded, it is still in good shape, but we need some capital injection to keep it up to speed, to be able to churn out product that to be competitive to international standard products. And the only thing is to get capital injection. And the reason why I think we need capital injection or we need private sector participation is two things. The capital injection that we are talking about to retool and revamp the refinery. And then the second thing also, a private man manning such a facility, profitability should be the guide word. And so once the private man has profitability in mind, I think efficiency will rule the day. So we need efficiency, and that will cascade into profitability.
Dr. Suleimana said the refinery, if operationalized, will curb the depreciation of the cedi to the dollar and rake in revenue for the state.
One most important thing that the refinery can help, like I mentioned before, the exchange rate parameter is very crucial. Why the cedi is wobbling is because there's so much pressure on the dollar, right? So if a refinery runs, the quantum of dollar that we use to import finished product, that will minimize. And if that minimizes, I think that would be a serious pressure relief for our local currency. So if you look at every dynamic, it is in the best interest of the nation to have a viable, vibrant, and a robust local refinery.
The energy sector has always been a male-dominated area with few or no women showing an interest. In a bid to break the ice, female students are now being encouraged to give attention to the sector, especially renewable energy. The head of the science department of the Accra Technical Training Center, Mrs. Veronica Menu Nate, said the center is promoting involvement of all female students in the school's energy-related programs to create gender balance in the field.
That at a point in time, the females were left behind. Some approached us, and then later on, we decided to use more of the females. And so if you could witness, we came with 2 girls indicating that the females are now showing interest. And so in future, we hope to bring them along to do our presentation. If we put the entire population in the school, then we have between 20 and 50 of them.
Now to national power generation figures and the water level in the Akosombo and Bui dams. And that's it for the energy segment. I'm Dominic Honoji.
Time now for health, brought to you by Tobingo Premium. Tobingo's brought to you by Lufat, Tobingo's premium gift to Africa. Now, to regulate the screening of blood donated for transfusion, a national strategy has been developed by the National Blood Service Ghana to give laboratories across the country. This will also ensure the standards for safe blood is the same everywhere according to WHO standards. When she launched the document, the Director for Technical Coordination at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Martha Jansa-Lutrot, said effectively screened blood reduces the risk of transmissible infections.
Transfusion is a life-saving intervention in patient management. When the whole blood is collected, it is broken down into components such as red blood cells, plasma and platelets. Prior to that, it has to be screened for any transmissible infections such as HIV, hepatitis B and C, as well as syphilis. It is also screened for compatibility and blood groups. This is the core competence of the National Blood Safety Program. The National Strategy for Screening Donated Blood and Immunohematological Testing contains algorithms to guide and support blood collection and testing facilities, as well as hospital blood banks, to establish appropriate, effective and reliable blood screening and immunohematological testing plans.
Effective screening strategy can reduce the risk of transmission of TTIs to very low levels. Blood transfusion facilities should therefore establish efficient systems to ensure that all donated blood is screened in quality assured manner for the mandatory TTIs, and that only non-reactive blood and blood components are released for clinical use.
The Chief Executive of the National Blood Service Ghana, Dr. Justina Ansah, says a dissemination plan and training are being rolled out across the country to ensure compliance and safety.
This document looks at standardizing the testing across country. Before then, people are using various tests, rapid tests, some are using ELISA, some are using various chemiluminescence tests. But what this document intends to do is to standardize across board to ensure that wherever blood is donated, the screening that is done on the blood is the same.
With this strategy, the probability of discarding blood collected will be minimized to the barest minimum. Sarah.
And that's it for health, brought to you by Lufat, Tobingo's premium gift to Africa. International news is next.